everyone, so today's video is going to be an update for my project 10 uses, and really the reason I'm doing this project is just to get more use out of all of the products in my collection and really make sure I'm rotating through products and using everything. So I do have 10 products in this project going at once, and obviously once I use something 10 times then I will roll in a new product. So we don't have too much progress since last update. I'm only going to be rolling in one new product today, but I am pretty close to 10 uses with some of these products, so hopefully next update will be a little bit more exciting. And this project actually started out as a project 100 uses, but I just found that very overwhelming and I didn't want to only be using these products just to try to get 100 uses out of them. So I changed it to a project 10 uses. So the first products we have here are a couple eyeshadow palettes. The first one is the Morphe and James Charles palette, and obviously this, we all know what this looks like. It's pretty much just a rainbow palette, and I haven't used this very much at all. I didn't use it not even once since the last update, but I have used this twice in total, so that's like about twice in like 2 months. So we have 8 more uses to go with this, and honestly this palette is not my favorite. I don't really support Morphe and I don't support James Charles anymore, so I am considering decluttering this palette. The other eyeshadow palette is actually one of my favorites. It's the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, and again, I didn't use this at all since the last update, but I have gotten 3 uses out of this in total. So in the past 2 months I've used this 3 times and it was all from the first month. But I do really love this palette. I think the color story is really pretty and it's a good palette for the summertime, especially because it has more of those brighter tones, but you can also get a really neutral look out of this. And yeah, this is one of my favorite palettes, and I think it is really worth $65. I have talked about how I don't think Natasha Denona shadows are worth it, especially her $129 palettes, but I think for $65 it's not such a bad price point, and I do think this is definitely worth it. So I'm excited to use this more, and really the reason I haven't been using these palettes and I find these the most difficult to get use out of is because I do have other projects currently going. I have some eyeshadow palettes in my Shop My Stash, and I also have some in my color project pan. So I am trying to also use other eyeshadow palettes, so that's why I haven't gotten much use out of these, but hopefully by the next update I will make some progress. Another product I find very hard to use is this Colourpop pigment in the shade Redzone. And so obviously this is like a loose pigment. I'm not even going to open it because it's just going to go everywhere, but this is a more not really neutral, it's pretty silver and cool toned actually. So this is pretty if you just take a light layer and dust it over your lid, but I find it can also be really intense if you build it up. So I also find these a little bit messy, so I just don't use them as much, especially because you can tend to get fallout with loose pigments. So I pretty much always do my face first. So that's kind of why I don't use these, but I am including this in this project just to try to get use out of my loose pigments. And like I said, I also have other eyeshadow palettes that I'm using, so I don't really reach for this very often. And same with these Stila Glitter and Glows. I added both of these in, but I'm counting them kind of as one product. So I have these shades Enchantress and I also have Rose Gold Retro. Enchantress is a bit more pink and cool toned, and then Rose Gold Retro is more gold and warm tone. So these are really different, and I kind of use them for opposite types of looks because one's cool and one's warm. But I do actually really enjoy these. I do have this on my lids right now, the shade Enchantress, and I really love the way these look, and the glitter that this adds to the lid is really pretty. And in total together I have used these 7 times, so I do only need a few more uses to get 10 uses out of these, and again I am counting them together. So Enchantress I have used 4 times, and then Rose Gold Retro I've only used 3 times. So hopefully by the next update I will be able to roll these out. The next product is this Makeup Geek face palette in the shade Fair Lady, and they have these in all different shades. So as I was saying, they have these palettes in all different shades, so whether you have a fair skin tone or a deep skin tone, you can find one that works for you. So this is the fair one, And actually, I think they have one that's suited for even lighter skin tones than this, so this isn't the lightest one. As you can see, this bronzer shade just fell out, but that is my fault. I did drop this a couple times. The first time, nothing shattered, thank God. But the second time, this bronzer shade did end up shattering, so I actually had to repress this into the pan. Luckily, none of the other shades broke, so as you can see, this palette does have two blushes, a highlight, and then a bronzer. And I actually really love this palette because all of these shades work really well for my skin tone. And yeah, I just have to be careful with this from now on. So I did use this face palette 6 times since my last update, so I only have 4 more uses to go to reach 10 uses, obviously. So hopefully next time I'll be able to roll this out as well. I have another product from Makeup Geek, so this is the Kathleen Lights Highlighter Palette. I don't think this is still available, but this is the collaboration they did with Kathleen Lights, and I actually really love this palette. I thought this shade was gonna be too deep for me, but it actually works well by itself. I feel like I could potentially use it by itself, maybe if I have a little bit of a tan, but especially if I mix it with these other 2 shades, it looks fine on my skin. So this isn't as dark as it looks in the pan. And I did get 3 uses out of this palette, so I do also currently have a bunch of highlighters in my Shop My Stash, so that's kind of what I've been reaching for. But I do really enjoy these highlights, and I think they look really beautiful on the skin. The next product is from Laura Geller. This is the Baked Blush and Brighten in the shade Tropic Hues. This did come in a BoxyCharm, but I actually really love this blush. It's a really pretty berry tone, and it's also a very glowy blush, which I really like more glowy products on my skin. So it gives you a lot of color to your cheeks, but it also isn't matte and dull. It gives a lot of life to your skin, so I do really love this. So I have really enjoyed using this, and I did use it 6 times so far. So again, this is another product I think I will be able to roll out by my next update. I also have this Tarte Lip Paint in the shade Strike Gold. So this is just a really pretty lip gloss, and I did also get this in a BoxyCharm. I find that this is like very glittery and shimmery even after you apply it to your lips, and when it wears off you can still see the glitter particles. So if you don't like glitter on your lips, you definitely wouldn't like this. It doesn't feel gritty or anything on your lips, but you can definitely see the glitter in there, especially when it wears off. So this isn't my favorite lip gloss. I do enjoy it. It smells like vanilla, so it smells really nice. But yeah, I might end up decluttering this eventually, but I did enjoy using it. I used it 6 times. I don't remember if I said that, but again, this is something I think I will also be able to roll out in my next update. And then I also have the Nudestix Nudies all over face color in the shade Sunkissed, and I did only use this 3 times, so I haven't used it much. This is obviously just a little sample size. It came in that little kit with 3 of these. So people do love this shade, and they say it's like the perfect sun-kissed warm blush. So I am really excited to get more use out of this. And like I said, I did only use it 3 times, so I probably won't be able to roll this out next time, but maybe we'll see. And then the last product that I did end up using 10 times is the Natasha Denona Bronze and Glow, and this is just like a little mini palette with a highlighter and bronzer. So this highlighter is a little bit too deep for my skin tone. I can't really pull it off unless I mix it with like a lighter highlight. And then this bronzer is actually really pretty. I do really love it. Almost as like a blush bronzer. As you can see, it's pretty warm toned. So I do like applying it almost a little bit higher than I would apply my normal bronzer, sort of to act as a blush and bronzer in one. But this is really pretty, and I did really enjoy using it. And so the product that I'm going to be rolling in is the Ciate Dewy Sticks, and this is in the shade Glow. I got this is probably one of my newer products, but I did get it a while ago, and as you can see, it's kind of just like a clear balm. I will swatch it for you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but it just gives that really nice glowy, glossy finish to the skin. And I did use this once, and I really didn't like it. It felt like almost like a balm, like you put lip balm on your cheekbones. That's why I didn't like it. So I wanted to put it in this project just to get more use out of it, to see if I really like it or if I want to end up decluttering it. I just feel like it feels kind of greasy and sticky and oily on the skin. So I don't really like that about it, but I just wanted to try to get some use out of it to see if I could make it work. So that's it for the update for this project. Let me know if you guys are doing any projects like this, or if you're doing any project pans in general. I will have my project pan playlist linked down below, along with all my other playlists, so you guys can go check those out. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I do post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.